Shalom, shalom. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Wahakadashakah. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, teaching the truth on down to the younger brothers through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. Shalom to the hopeful elect and to the shalom to the elect and to the hopeful elect. So the Messiah is about to pull up, basically. That's what this is going to be about. And he could really legit pull up this year. He could really pull up this year. He could. I feel like, some really coming this year. He could really pull up this year or even next year with the way things are looking. And, we say this because of the signs that we were told, because it says, I'm finna get it. Matthew 24:36, it says, but of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. What day? This day, when he returns, when the Messiah, Yahweh Shai, returns and actually comes back. You're going to pull up, just like you see. He's going to come from the sky, out the clouds. And this is how we know, because of the signs. Because I said we don't know the day nor hour, but we know the signs. Nobody but the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, he knows. But he's not going to keep us in the dark because we are his servants. So, of course, he wants us to know when to be ready. Matthew 24, verse 3. And before I get into this, I'm just read it. Matthew 24, verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? When shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming? Talking to the Messiah, talking to Yahushua, the only begotten Son. These is the disciples, Yahushua's disciples, because they know that he's going to come back and everything's going to end and the kingdom be established and everything. So they're asking, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming? Because they know that he has to return and the end of the world. Verse 4, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am anointed. Because, Christ means anointed and everything. But I am Hamashiach. I am anointed, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. And that's like, we hear plenty of rumors of wars. You got to actually go out and look, because they're not putting this stuff on the news. You're not going to be able to turn on the TV and hear that nuclear war is brewing, because it is. You pay attention to what's going on with Russia and China and all these other nations out there dealing with America, so-called America. You can see nuclear war is brewing. That's a discussion right now. And we know that World War III, the nuclear war, is going to be the end of this whole, everything. It says, see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Why it's not yet? Because, other stuff has to happen first. For nation shall rise against nation. That's people and people. People rise against other people. And kingdom against kingdom. There shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All this stuff is going on right now. America is just the last to get it, because we've been on the top of the world. We've been on the top of the world. We've been running the whole place. Like, America has been, controlling the whole earth and everything. So, these third world countries, they they got it worse. And these not even a third world country, but the other countries, I should say, they got big issues going on right now, like real big issues. But because it's not happening here, people are comfortable. When it's gonna be a global thing, a global famine, global pestilence, earthquakes, and everything. Earthquakes, yeah, that's crazy. Earthquakes been, you can look that up too. Earthquakes been going crazy. And signs is brief and everything. I'm gonna go over this brief. I'm really getting to him pulling up, Yahushua pulling up. So I'm be brief with this stuff. Matthew 24:8. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you. You shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And all this is in the works too. They're in the process of labeling us as the bad guy, labeling us as terrorists. Then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. That's been going on for a very long time, especially now though. Different false prophets teaching all type of weird doctrines, saying this and saying that, how the MOTB is not what it actually is, which is very bad, because that's just leading people straight to destruction. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. Now, what gospel? What good news? What doctrine? This doctrine, this truth right here. Because if any other so-called religion, like Christianity, Buddhism, Muslim, all that crap, if any of that stuff was, real, legit, the end would have came a while ago. The end would have been came. Because that stuff been around forever. But this truth hasn't. It has, but it hasn't been preached in all the world like other stuff. Like Christianity is the largest group in religion and everything. That has the largest group of people in it. That's under that Christianity philosophy and doctrine, that crap. So you go, so yeah, the whole world is starting to figure this out. More and more people are starting to wake up and starting to see and realize what's going on, who they are. That's this gospel that's being preached all over. The end is on its way, because what's happening now has never been happening before. Everyone knows this. It's locked. It's not hard to see. All right, so 2 Esdras 9:1, and he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when thou shalt see, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For it's like all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. So it says, verse 3 says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shall thou well understand that the Most High spake of these things in the past. Wait. Oh, slack. I meant to reread verse 2. It says, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world. So he's going to visit because we see the signs. Verse 1, it says, when you see the signs past, because like I first brought out, no man knoweth the hour. So nobody knows when exactly, the very moment when it's going to happen. But we know the signs, and we know when to be ready. You know, we know when it's close and when it's near and nigh. And it is, very, very close. Very close. This year. It really could be this year. It really could. Or it could be next year. Or the year after that. But it's like around the corner. Because all these signs, all these prophecies to look for, to know that the end is coming, they've been happening. They've been happening. Now let me get an end time. One of the big ones. Because you got World War III with the nuclear wars. That's written about to happen as end time prophecy. Like the last thing to happen when the nukes go off. That's being rumored right now. That's talked to happen. It's being stirred up, brewed. And you got another one, which is the MOTB, end time prophecy. Revelation 13-16, he calls all both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. And that no man might buy or sell, say that he that had a mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. This is end time prophecy. This is in Revelation. This is at the end, because we at the end. Now, when this comes to pass, Revelation 13 verse 16, when this comes to pass, we can look up. When they make that mandatory, we can look up. But it's at the door right now. And another thing with this verse is here. This right here is here. The mark is here. The MOTB is here. It's here. And they're talking about it on big time news, mainstream news. You can go find this chip in hand for C19 proof. Like type something like that in. You're going to see it. It's here. End time prophecy. An end time prophecy is here. So what does that mean? We're in the end times. Pay attention and wake up. So anyways, so Yahushua about to pull up, right? Matthew 24 verse 33. So likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. Because we don't know. Like it says 3 verses down, 36. We do not know the day, hour, or anything. But we know when we see these signs, it says even at the doors. Know that it is near. What is the end? When he returns, his coming, when he pulls up, even at the doors. So when your father is pulling up, he calls you to say, be ready, I'm gonna pull up. That means he's gonna be at the door soon. Because if he pulls up and you're not ready, and he comes to the door, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, if a doorbell rings, or anybody being at the door in general, I ain't gonna go into that too deep or make it complicated, but if your package is at the door, like, it's almost inside the house. It's almost there. Like, it is there. It's there, but it's not inside the house. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's there. That's what I'm saying about him coming back. The end is here because these things are happening. All right, but yeah, because if you can't get it, then it's not meant to get it. But I ain't, you should definitely get the point of what I'm trying to make. All right, now because he is about to pull up, and we in that time, we got to be ready. We got to stay ready so we don't have to get ready. And they emphasize this. The scriptures is what is they. They emphasize this. And this is an example. All right. So we're going to go over this. Now it says, Matthew 25, it says, and 1, then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. And 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish. They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. It says, but the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight there was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom cometh. Go ye out to meet him. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, Give us your oil, for our lamps are gone out. Because 5 of them were foolish, as it said, and 5 were wise. And the foolish ones didn't have oil in their lamps. But the ones that were wise, they had the oil, and they were ready. They were prepared to meet the bridegroom. It says, and this is about that get ready, stay ready so you ain't got to get ready, because they weren't ready. The foolish was not ready, so they won't be able to go meet him. And it says, and the foolish said unto the wise, Give us your oil, for our lamps are gone out. But the wise answered, saying, Not so, least there be not enough for us and you. But go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. Now, it says, Matthew 25 and 5. Watch this. Hold on. It says, Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security shalt thou be destroyed, and perish in the day of vengeance. All right? So, what happened here? Matthew 25 and 5, while the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. So the bridegroom, not necessarily saying that he was taking his time, but, he wasn't there yet. So he was making his way. So they slumbered and slept. And they caught him off guard. Because it says, and at midnight there was a cry made. At midnight. So they, oh shoot. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have that oil. The foolish didn't. So it says, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth. So that was sudden. They sleeping. Unprepared. But the wise, they were asleep, but they were prepared while they were asleep. Because they had the oil on them and with them. And it's that it's still, stay ready, so you gotta get ready. Because they emphasize it's gonna happen sudden. That's why they say, watch out for the signs. Be aware for the signs. Because when you see the signs, it's at the door. So get ready. Because it's going to happen suddenly. Another, point that they make, 1 Thessalonians 5:2. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. So the day of the Lord, the day that Yahushua returns, comes as a thief in the night. You don't know when a thief in the night is going to come. You don't. Let me find this. Matthew 24:43. Top. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would not have suffered his house to be broken up. Next verse. Therefore, be ye also ready, for in such hour as ye think not the Son of Man cometh. Who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household to give them meat in due season? Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. So those foolish virgins aren't blessed, because when he came, they weren't ready. They weren't watching and being ready. And you think that if those foolish virgins knew that Yahushua, the bridegroom, if he was gonna come at midnight, then they would have they would have had their oil when they went to sleep, just like the wise. But the wise had that wisdom that the Lord gave them. Had that wisdom to, have that oil on them at all times and be ready. Because he pulled up at midnight like a thief in the night. He pulled up and boom, no oil. Now they asked for oil at the last minute. So basically, if the foolish knew that he was going to pull up at midnight, then they would have had the oil going to sleep. Okay. So basically, we know the signs. So, it's time to look up. It's going to soon be time to look up. We can look up now, and we're going to see chariots. The Lord of, the host, the angels upstairs. Up top. Luke 21:8. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. And why are we looking up though? Why not to the left or the right, to the east or the west? Why look up? Because that's what he's coming back at. Because when Yahushua pull up, he's not pulling up in no car, of course. I'm saying, he pulling up as in he gonna crack them clouds and coming down from the heavens. Let me get a couple scriptures proving that, and then I'm close it out. No, I'm not gonna get this one yet. Revelation. Revelation 1 and 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so Amen. I am Lord. It says, I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, saith the Lord, saith Yahushua, which is, and which was, and which is to come, the Almighty. Hold on. So yeah, he's gonna come with clouds. As in, the clouds being the chariots. He's gonna come from up top. Okay, 1 Thessalonians 4 and 14. For if you believe that Yahushua died and rose again, even so them which also sleep in Yahushua will God bring with him. For this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them which are asleep. Main point right here, verse 16. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of God, and the dead in Hamashiach, and Yahushua Mashiach shall rise first. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with him. It says meet the Lord in the air. He's going to be this. He's going to be in the air. He's going to be up. He's going to be in the sky. It says, verse 16, for the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of God, and the dead in the Mashiach shall rise first. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord, Yahushua. Okay. Flu. You see, it says 2nd Esdras 13 and 6 says, but I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. This is a beautiful depiction. done by, done by one of the brothers of this truth. Not sure who did it, but it's a nice drawing and put together. That mountain. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. But I would have seen a region or place where out the hill was graven, and I could not. Second Esdras 13 and 12. Afterward I saw the same man come down from the mountain and call unto him another peaceable multitude. So yeah, that's gonna be Yahushua pulling up, and that's how he gonna pull up. And the wise versions are gonna be the ones that meet him in the air. That multitude, the peaceable multitude. $144,000 plus. That 1/3. I believe this might be it. Give me a second. Yeah, so yeah, that's it. So basically, he's about to come back. He pulling up, the signs showing that he's about to come back, So, you gotta be ready. Shalom.